Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Sierra Daredevil, bringing you all of the live action here in TNA 2014. It is the go-home show for Destination X, and we've got some stuff to continue, as well as go through week 3 of the 2 Bound for Glory series. So let's dive into the action in front of 4,885 people at the Bernard Johnson Coliseum in Texas. We're going to open up Impact with AJ Styles coming to the ring. He kind of thanks everyone for coming out and says that this Sunday he makes his first defense of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and it will be a successful one. He plans on doing what it's, he plans on being a successful champion, proving that it was well deserved for him to not only come back to TNA, but to also get a championship opportunity. This brings out MVP, who says that AJ may be phenomenal, but MVP is the playmaker. He is the one who makes all the moments happen. He's the one who makes all the significant things happen in this business, and that if AJ honestly thinks that he's going to defeat MVP, he is sadly mistaken, because MVP will become the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion at Destination X. So 76 rating for the segment, really good stuff. Got the crowd hotter, got the show off to a strong start. Great stuff all around for that. Then, in our first of 5 matches in Bound for Glory series action here tonight, we see another bit of a surprising upset. Not necessarily, it's surprising upset in the sense that Rhino had yet to lose a match in the Bound for Glory series, and EC3 had yet to win one. But apparently, that changes here, because as you see there on your screen, Rhino takes a loss to EC3. We'll say it's through some underhanded tactics or something like that. That's what happened there. But EC3 gets a victory, gets his first victory in the Bound for Glory series by defeating Rhino in A58 by pinfall to Sweet Meat Sizzler. Both men with a 52 in-ring performance, 59 rating for the match. EC3 seemed off his game, so he would have been better. But I'll take it. So EC3 able to get some points on the board, able to get himself on the board here. There are going to be Bound for Glory series matches happening this Sunday at Destination X. And I don't think I have the segment later in the show, so I'm going to announce it now. What's going to happen is there's going to be 2 matches in the Bound for Glory series happening this Sunday at Destination X. A 10-man tag on the men's side, and an 8-woman tag, that is, on the women's side. It will feature the people who win their matches this week against the people who lose their matches this week. And the winning team at Destination X will get themselves 5 extra points. So the whole team gets 5 points. But the person who actually gets the victory, the one who actually gets the pinfall or submission in that matchup, doesn't matter, pinfall or submission, because that rule's out the window for this matchup, that person gets 8 points. So that's a huge boost. You can really send yourself either farther into first place, send yourself into first place, get yourself out of the hole. Like, that's huge. So winning team gets 5 points each, except for the person who actually gets the decision. They get 8 points, so that'll be huge. So it'll be 10-man tag on the men's side and 8-woman tag on the women's side. So we'll have to see who all is going to be on which side as the night goes on. Then we have Maria Kanellis, the co-authority figure here in Impact, the the person who's working with Daredevil to help kind of run things here in Impact Wrestling. And she's being interviewed by Christy Hemme. She says that she's really looking forward to seeing the Bound for Glory series matches here tonight. She's really looking forward to this Sunday, where she knows that the roster will put on a hell of a show. Great stuff all around. And she gets interrupted by Mickie James. And Mickie says that it's hilarious that Maria keeps up this little spiel about pretending to be all good and all this stuff over, because Mickie knows the true Maria Kanellis. The true Maria Kanellis is not this happy, fun baby face kind of, the fun, loving kind of character. The true Maria Kanellis is a bad person. She's one that has no problem stabbing someone in the back and all that. But she's gonna bring out that version of Maria one way or another. And Maria just kind of smiles the whole time and says, "You may think that you know me, but you don't know me. And I should be the least of your worries, because tonight here on Impact, you've got yourself another match in the Bound for Glory series." And Mickey's like, "Well, yeah, obviously I do." And Maria's like, "Yeah, but this one's going to be pretty much your toughest challenge of the series, because here in week 3 of the series, right off the bat, it's going to be you taking on TNA legend herself, Gail Kim." So big match happening here on Impact, as it's going to be Mickie James and Gail Kim here tonight, which should be a big match. And of course that means that they are 2 potential frontrunners for this whole thing, although at least at the start they were. They're not quite at this point, but at the start they were, so it'll be interesting to see. Both of them are 1-1 so far in this tournament, after both losing to Velvet Sky so far in this, so we'll have to see which one of them can come out on top of the victory. Then yours truly shows up on screen with a 26 rated segment, which is why I wanted to make sure there was no storyline involved in this, because I would have lost heat for it. But I show up in front of the camera and I say that Destination X has always been about the X Division. And while we get to see our current champion Paul London defending against a X Division legend in Frankie Kazarian this Sunday, we also need to have another contender. We need to have another person in line for a title match after this Sunday. So at Destination X, there will be a 4-way matchup, where the winner is going to get a future shot at the X Division Championship. The 4 men: Tigre Uno, Rocky Romero, Zema Ion, and Petey Williams. So crowd kind of pops for that a little bit, as that should be a really good 4-way matchup at the pay-per-view. For people who aren't really pushed a whole lot right now, but could definitely put on a hell of a match if given the opportunity. So those 4 men going to have a chance to earn themselves a shot at the X Division Championship, whether that is in the hands of Paul London or Frankie Kazarian after the pay-per-view. We'll have to see. Then those 4 men come out to the ring, and in a 53 rated matchup, there's a tag team match that sees Zema Ion and Rocky Romero defeat Petey Williams and Tigre Uno in 10-19, when Ion pinned Williams with a Filipino Destroyer. 53 rating for the match: 46 from Romero, 46 from Ion, 45 from Uno, and 47 from Petey Williams. So, pretty decent. Obviously, it's not going to be a high quality 70+ rating banger, whatever that they're going to have this Sunday, but with those 4 in-ring performances, this should be a pretty good matchup. It should be a pretty good matchup indeed. So, but Zema Ion and Rocky Romero get a little bit of momentum. Who knows if that means that one of those 2 will win this Sunday, especially since Zema Ion got the pin. So will he actually get the victory this Sunday? Who knows exactly. Also, I do like the fact that Zema Ion pinned Petey Williams after a Filipino Destroyer, so almost kind of thrown it in his face, because obviously, Williams with the Canadian Destroyer, so he kind of used his own move against him to get the victory. So kind of an interesting little bit there. Then we have Bobby Lashley come out for an open challenge. He says that he let MVP get into his head a lot, and then recently he's been having problems. He's just been getting big old crazy brawls. So he's calling somebody out from the back. He wants a match. He wants to actually get the victory this time. And Rockstar Spud comes out. And Spud gets in the ring and says, you know, I am tired of the disrespect for Team Dixie. I am going to get respect into, and then that's all he says, because he immediately gets speared the second he gets in the ring by Bobby Lashley. The referee just kind of looks around, shrugs. Bobby Lashley goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, match is already over. So a quick, like, few seconds of a match that sees Bobby Lashley just to absolutely destroy Rockstar Spud. The only reason I didn't do this as an actual match is because I wanted to set this up as an actual segment. So, but Bobby Lashley gets a dominating victory here in, less than a minute. It was like less than 30 seconds basically. So, 38 rating for the segment, not great, but it is what it is. Then after that, we get a little angle with Future Shock as Red Dragon and SoCal Val are back there talking to Roderick Strong. Strong kind of talks about the fact that he has his match against Shelton Benjamin tonight after answering that open challenge last week on Impact. Fish and O'Reilly ask if he wants any sort of backup at all, and Strong's like, nah, I got this, man. Like, I got this. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take it to Shelton Benjamin, and, then we'll see what's going on next. I know Cole's busy with the Bound for Glory series, and maybe the three of us need to figure out something to do around here. So, kind of just a little basic promo with these three, as it kind of helps hype up the match between Roderick Strong and Shelton Benjamin here later in the night. Then, in a matchup in the Bound for Glory series, the winning streak continues. This time not as much of a surprise, but still impressive nonetheless, as Velvet Sky picks up the victory over Santana Garrett in 9:52 there by pinfall with a double knee backbreaker to get herself to 3-0 so far in the Bound for Glory series, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Again, she defeated Gail Kim and Mickie James in the first 2 weeks of the series, so she has momentum on her side. It is crazy the kind of momentum she has on her side. And seeing as how she was, she had the feud with Madison Rayne, the Knockouts champion, for a little while there. The winner of this gets a shot at the Knockouts championship at Bound for Glory. So if Rayne can keep the title until then, and if Velvet can keep up her winning ways so far, who's to say that we might not see Velvet and Rayne once again going at it at Bound for Glory, which would be interesting to see. 47 rating for this as Velvet Sky gets the victory. 49 from her, 33 from Garrett. Pretty good match here. Pretty good match. And then poor Santana Garrett still cannot buy a victory in this. So far, she's 0 for 3. Then after that, I did this for like 3 minutes. There wasn't enough star power for them to fight for 3 minutes. That's weird. For some reason, and it didn't set up the storyline for as well, so I definitely failed on this one. This was supposed to set up a storyline, but for some reason, Chris Hero and Eddie Kingston are brawling backstage with each other. We're not sure why. Nothing's really said. They're just all of a sudden brawling with each other backstage and yelling at each other, trying to fight through security that's coming out that's showing up to try to keep the two separated. For some reason, they're fighting with each other, though. So 44 rating here. We'll have to see where this goes in the future, but for some reason, Chris Hero and Eddie Kingston are fighting with each other backstage. Then we go back to the ring, and in a 69 rated matchup, very nice, we see Magnus, the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Jeff Hardy in the Bound for Glory Series Week 3, getting a victory here. So, kind of interesting. Hardy suffers his first loss in the series. Magnus gets his second win. He lost last week to Joe, but otherwise he's won his 2 matches so far. So we'll have to see where things go from there. But Magnus getting the victory, getting himself 3 more points. Suffered from lack of psychology. To be expected. Magnus with a 68, Jeff Hardy with a 65. Never thought we'd be at the point where Magnus would be outperforming Jeff Hardy in the ring, but here we are. Here we are. Nevertheless, Magnus getting the victory in 10:54 by pinfall with a Tormentum. So Magnus getting himself 3 more points in the Bound for Glory series. Then we have a promo from our Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne, who says that maybe she has misunderestimated Brooke Tessmacher a little bit, but have no fear. But she's like, Brooke, have no fear. This Sunday, I won't be underestimating you at all. In fact, I'm going to treat you just like I've treated everyone else I've gone up against and defended this title against, and that is as a worthy opponent who's going to be defeated by your true queen, taking a shot at Mickie James's claim of the Knockouts division. So 58 rating here. Pretty good stuff there, honestly. As Madison Rayne kind of, short little sweet promo to kind of hype up that matchup this Sunday between the two of them for the Knockouts Championship. Then after that, we have a match that goes 7:23 that sees the Wolves and the Machine Guns. Of course, last week we saw the promo between the two teams there, kind of having some interesting interactions between the two. They have a tag team matchup this week, and neither one of them gets the victory because it's a double pinfall. Chris Sabin and Eddie Edwards both get pinfalls for their respective teams. 57 rated for the match, 56 from Davey Richards, 48 from Eddie Edwards, 53 from both Sabin and Shelley. Gain seed for the storyline, so you can't complain about that for sure. But we'll have to see where things go with that as both teams went to a double pinfall. The reason why it was only 7:23, by the way, is because this was more of my Wild Brawl kind of match, and I didn't want to book it that long. Because Wild Brawl's not really matches you book that long without having penalties. Because that's kind of essentially what this was. It kind of broke down almost immediately from being a normal tag match. It was kind of more just a chaotic match that ended with a double pinfall. So we'll have to see where things go with that heading forward. But nice little 57 rated matchup here with these two teams. Then after that, we get a basic little promo from the Decay, Bram, Crazy Steve, and Rosemary. Rosemary is warning TNA that so far they have been ignored. They have been not seen that often, but that everyone will fall to the Decay and they will be taken to the Shadow Realm and left there to fade into nothingness. 35 rating here. Not great, but it is what it is. This version of the Decay that I have going on, it's kind of, going to be kind of quiet. It's kind of a quiet group for the moment. And we'll kind of see how things develop as time goes on. Definitely need to get them involved in more matches, though, for sure, because I got to build them up a little bit if I'm going to treat them as a decent-ish threat here in TNA. But 35 rating for this promo here. Then after that, we go backstage and we find out that there's a brawl happening. As Abyss and Mr. Anderson are brawling with each other in the back. Officials come running out, trying to separate the two of them. It's gains heat for the storyline there. Again, last week, Abyss made that open challenge. Mr. Anderson accepted it, and everybody has been questioning him over the last 7 days, saying if he has some sort of death wish, if he's prepared for taking on somebody like Abyss, and he's kind of showing it here by kind of taking it to Abyss and trying to prove himself to him, and kind of trying to show that he's not afraid of the monster. So we'll have to see where things go with that this Sunday. Then, oof. Oh man, come on. God. Alright. Well, in a bout that had decent wrestling, but a decent reaction, that is, but terrible wrestling, Mickie James defeats Gail Kim in 11:40 by pinfall with a chick kick, getting 3 points for herself in the tournament, or the series, whatever you want to call it exactly, but they do not click, and it made for an awkward bout. That really sucks, because, spoiler alert, before Velvet started on her crazy run, I kind of figured that there was going to be these two at least near the finals. Which is why I wanted to do this as early on as possible, so that way when we got towards the end of the whole thing, it would be a little more fresh in people's minds, but they don't seem to click, so that kind of sucks. So, hopefully we don't see them in the finals against each other. But, Mickie James get a victory here. Kind of in a way, kind of sticking it to Maria, who claimed earlier that she was going to, that Mickey was going to have trouble against Gail Kim, and here she goes and beats her. So we'll have to see where things go from there. Then after that, we have an in-ring promo. Kazarian comes out and says that as a 5-time X Division champion, he's looking forward to this Sunday to become a 6-time champion. He says that he knows that Paul London thinks that he has a following around in this company and in this business. He thinks that he knows that Paul London thinks that he's, getting a career resurgence here in TNA, so to speak. But this is Kazarian's world. He runs the X Division, and Paul London will have to go through him to keep his championship. Paul London comes out and says that, he's not really that good of a promo at this, at all, really. But he just kind of comes out and just says, I have no problem going through you and proving why I am the X Division champion. And the two kind of have a little bit of a stare down with each other. And that's kind of what we use to hype up the match this Sunday. 54 rating, lost heat for the storyline, but that's all right. The match will definitely get some heat back. But, so we'll have to see this Sunday what ends up happening in that matchup for the X Division Championship. Then in a decent matchup, 72 rating. Oh my goodness. Shelton Benjamin defeats Roderick Strong in 11:38 by pinfall after using a foreign object. I don't know what foreign object he used. Maybe brass knucks or something. I'm not sure. He used a foreign object. We're not sure what it is, but it's 72 rating. 66 from Shelton Benjamin, 54 from Roderick Strong. Really good matchup here. I wanted Benjamin to win so he could keep momentum up for his eventual encounter with Kurt Angle, but I also wanted to make sure I kept Roddy strong, so that's why I kind of did the tainted victory here. I was hoping it was gonna be like a handful of tights or using the ropes or something like that, but I guess we're using foreign object in this. So, but 72 rating is a great rating, honestly. That's probably one of the top matches in this save so far, so I will gladly take that. But Shelton Benjamin getting the victory, getting himself some more momentum before Kurt Angle finally comes back and he has that encounter with him. Then, because we have all sorts of brawls here tonight, we have Beer Money brawling backstage with Colt Cabana and Jimmy Jacobs, the tag team champions. This time, though, unlike the brawls we've had earlier in the night, this time Jacobs and Cabana actually gets the worst of the brawl and ended up kind of laid out in the back as Bobby Roode and James Storms takes the TNA tag team titles and Bobby Roode kind of leans over and says, "We'll be holding on to these champs," and then walks off. So Storm and Roode have the tag team titles and they're walking off. So we'll have to see this Sunday if Cabana and Jacobs can get their titles back, or if Bobby Roode and James Storm are giving you a prediction of the future by walking away with the tag team titles. 51 rating, lost heat, but that's all right. It was a good way to, in my opinion, it was a good way to advance the story I'm wanting to tell with this. So, and then the main event in our final Bound for Glory series match of the night, Samoa Joe gets the victory over Christopher Daniels in 13:03 by pinfall with a muscle buster. Samoa Joe 67, Christopher Daniels 58. He was really off his game, which really sucks. I was really hoping for a good performance from him too, so we could have just knocked it out of the park with this match, but that's all right. As Samoa Joe picks up another victory. He is now the only person on the men's side that is undefeated in this. Well, spoiler alert. I just spoiled. No, wait, I didn't spoil anything, because everybody else that wrestled on Explosion, none of them were 2-0 so far. Because Rhino lost earlier in the night and the Jeff Hardy lost earlier in the night, so nobody was 2-0. So Samoa Joe's the only undefeated wrestler on the men's side, which is kind of a big deal. But Samoa Joe gets the victory, gets himself 3 more points, and that is where Impact ends. Gets 71 rating, increased popularity in 20 regions. Very good stuff there. 2 very strong 72 rated matches here on Impact to help out that rating for sure. As we will go ahead and wait to get this loaded up, and then I can run down Explosion for you, and then kind of reiterate the Bound for Glory matches that are going to be happening at the pay-per-view. Of course, this Sunday we do have, pull my thing real quick here. This Sunday we do have, so far, we have the men's and the women's Bound for Glory series matches. We have, it wasn't announced on Impact, but it was announced on social media, and then something will be happening on Explosion as well to reiterate it. That it is going to be Mercedes Martinez and Portia Perez versus the Sexy Purple Thunder sisters, Io and Mio Shirai. Those two teams having issues with each other for weeks now. They will be fighting. This time, beautiful people won't be involved in the match. This time it will just be 2-on-2. We, of course, have the X Division Championship on the line. Kazarian challenging, that is, against Paul London. We have the Knockouts Championship on the line. Brooke Tessmacher versus Madison Rayne. Tag team titles on the line. Beer Money versus Colt Cabana and Jimmy Jacobs. Abyss taking on Mr. Anderson. TNA World Heavyweight Championship on the line as MVP takes on AJ Styles. And that's all the announced matches so far. And then the 4-way match, which I forgot to add to my sheet here. The 4-way match, of course, Petey Williams, Tigre Uno, Rocky Romero, and Zema Ion, with the winner getting a shot at the X Division Championship in the near future. Let's go ahead and run down Explosion really quick. And over on Explosion, we saw Adam Cole defeat Eric Young in the opening contest. ODB defeated Evie. Serena Deeb defeated Angelina Love. And then Austin Aries defeated Jay Lethal. So, where does that leave us right now? On the women's side, the knockout side, if you will, at the top of the standings is Serena Deeb with 11 points, thanks to her submission victory over Evie last week. She has 11 points. She is undefeated in this so far, 3-0. Up in second is Velvet Sky, who's sitting at 9 points, thanks to her victory over Santana Garrett this week. Tied in third place is Mickie James and ODB with 6 points each. And those four will be teaming up against the other four this Sunday, as the other four will be Evie and Gail Kim, who have 3 points apiece, and Santana Garrett and Angelina Love, who have 0 points apiece. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll have the beautiful people on both sides of the match. Excuse me, sorry. Beautiful people will be on either side of the match. Gail Kim and ODB with their issues recently will be on either side of the match. It's gonna be an interesting match to see for that to happen. And then on the men's side, at the top of the standings is Samoa Joe at 11 points. He stands alone up there. Coming up in second, it's a 4-way tie. Magnus, Jeff Hardy, Adam Cole, and Rhino, all with 6 points apiece. Up next is EC3, Eric Young, Christopher Daniels, and Austin Aries, who all have 3 points apiece. And then Jay Lethal stands alone as the only person to not have won a match so far in the Bound for Glory series. He is 0 for 3, which is very interesting because, Jay Lethal's, he was having momentum heading into the Bound for Glory series, but can't seem to get the job done so far. The match for this Sunday will be Samoa Joe, Magnus, Austin Aries, Adam Cole, and EC3 taking on Christopher Daniels, Jeff Hardy, Eric Young, Jay Lethal, and Rhino. So that's going to be an interesting one because Joe and Magnus fought last week. Magnus, he's been the way he is, but he does get to team up with EC3 in this, so Team Dixie members on the same side in this. But Christopher Daniels and Jeff Hardy have to team up in this, so that's going to be an interesting thing to see. EC3 and Eric Young will be on opposite sides. Adam Cole and Jay Lethal will be on opposite sides. So we'll have to see where so much of this plays out. So that is going to be the matches this Sunday at Destination X. I hope you guys are excited to see that. I think it's going to be a great show. I think we're going to, it's not going to be fantastic by any means, but it's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be a really good show. Ratings for the week. Your boys, TNA Impact. at the top at 71 show rating. Ring of Honor's taping had a 58, so they come in second on the night technically. Main event saw Bully Ray and Elijah Burke defeat Matt Hardy and Colin Delaney. And then NXT came in on the third with a 56. I saw Hideo Itami defeat Jay Bronson in the main event. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to show really quick here, just because I wanted to look and see. Okay, so we've had a few more better matches than I thought we did, but on the screen, you see there number 13, Shelton Benjamin and Roderick Strong getting that 72 rating, and then number 12, Samoa Joe and Chris Daniels getting that 72 rating. So 2 matches on this show that had 72 ratings. So 2 matches in the top 15 from this episode of Impact, which is really good, honestly. Very good stuff indeed. As you see some of the other matches we've had on there, and kind of from there. So that's going to do it for us today. Thank you all for watching. Definitely appreciate it. I am excited to see what happens this Sunday at Destination X, and I hope you all are as well. And until then, we'll catch you in another video.